Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come?
And we're back again. Welcome. It is windy here today. Welcome back to another vlog, and I am here in Aphrodite Hills in Cyprus. And as you will have seen in last week's video, we have just checked out of Aphrodite Hills Resort, and we are heading home today from Larnaca Cyprus to London Heathrow. So me and Theo are flying with British Airways, and we have managed to use a load of points and a companion voucher from having a American Express British Airways credit card. And I just wanted to kind of show you our journey home, because we are flying business class. We managed to upgrade using around 30,000 Avios points and a companion voucher, and it meant that it was a really affordable way to travel to Cyprus on this trip. We did it on the way here a week ago, and we are doing it again today. So I will be showing you what our experience is like. It will be a little bit all over the place because, as you well know, travelling is not an easy thing to do. But yeah, we are saying goodbye to this beautiful villa and flying business class back to London. So let's go and let's see how we get on. The one thing I should say is the way out here was a little bit different, because we flew short haul on a long haul plane because they'd overbooked our flight. So we actually flew business on the way here in a slightly different way. We were in what I think was first class. It was very bougie. I don't think it's going to be that nice on the way home, but let's see.
Let things happen naturally, like it used to be. I don't wanna go and waste another day, mess it up again, lost in my way, I'll be the one to have.
So we've just got into the Aspire Lounge. It's very basic, one of kind of the very basic airport lounges that you can come across. And it's not great, the food choices aren't amazing. I will show you now what we've got, but it's very, very basic food. But then again, we aren't paying. But if I was a full paying business class, what do you call it, member, guest, passenger, I'd be very disappointed. This is the food from the Aspire Lounge. Not great, very beige. It's basically Chinese stir fry, I think, and some vegetable spring rolls, etc. And then there's some Greek food, but not much.
If I make it home tonight, may I hold you one last time? Let me hold you one last time. What if it's too late for me?
So we've got a blanket, pillow, and a blanket. So guys, this is our little setup. There's an empty seat here. We've also been given blankets, not sure why. Pillows, again, not sure why. This flight's 4.5 hours long. There we go. But yeah, I booked this seat and Theo booked that seat, and we just ended up with an empty seat between us, which apparently means it's business class, but who knows.
I know you don't wanna talk, but just pick up the phone. We could go for a walk, talk about the things we know. Why don't you come sit next to me? Let things happen naturally, like it used to be.
Hello guys, and I am back home. As you will have just seen in the start of this vlog, I started off in Cyprus, and then we flew British Airways business class all the way back to London Heathrow. And as I mentioned to you in the start of the video, we flew business both on the way to Cyprus and on the way back, and our experience kind of on the way there was both worse and better in some ways. And I want to explain that in the sense that As you will have seen from the footage just now, on our return flight to London, we had a slightly different setup than on the way to Cyprus. I'll insert a picture here, which is a picture of the seats that we sat in on the way to Cyprus on what we now are aware was a long haul flight, or a long haul plane, but we were doing a short haul journey, and the experience itself was much better. We were in much bigger, comfier chairs. They were leather. We were served champagne on arrival, on boarding, and it was just a nicer experience. We were just sat behind first class. We got access to the first class toilet rather than having to trudge all the way back to the back of the plane to use the toilet in economy. But we had a lot of issues with not being able to sit together, not being able to check in before the flight, which meant that then we couldn't sit together because we weren't able to pick our seats 24 hours before the flight. It meant that we were both in different rows, and Theo was in the kind of the window section and I was in the middle of the plane with another couple. So there was both pros and cons to both sides. Now on the way back to London, I'll insert a picture now, and you will have seen it just now, that it was a setup with 3 seats where they just simply block out the middle seat between you, which is a really weird way of doing it. And I just think, why not offer people a better way to travel, more luxurious way to travel? Going business is not cheap. Yes, it's not as expensive as first class, but it's still an investment, and it's still an additional price on top of your, well, already expensive flights, because flights aren't cheap at the moment. And I just thought it was a bit of a cheap way out for them to kind of claim it was business class, when in my experience, if it had been the same setup as the flight to Cyprus, I would be way more impressed if that was kind of a standard. But as we now know, that was a long haul plane, which is good to know in the sense if you're flying long haul with British Airways, it's probably potentially a bit more worth it, a bit more luxurious, a bit more of an experience. But I think if you're flying business class with British Airways short haul, it's just economy with a seat in the middle, which kind of you get if you're lucky enough to not have anybody in the same row as you anyway. So would I fly business class again? Yes, I would fly business class again, long haul, I think, because I think I would like to see how that differed. It was a really nice experience. I also had great leg room on the seat that I was in on the flight out to Cyprus, whereas Theo was in a bit more of an enclosed space. Would I fly business class short haul again? Probably not, because it just seemed like they copped out a little bit with the business class, like luxury. And Cyprus was nearly a 5-hour flight, so it was in the middle. It wasn't like short haul like 2 hours to Portugal, and it wasn't long haul like I think they class Dubai potentially, which is 6-7 hours. So it was a little bit of an awkward flight time to kind of benefit. And although it was good to be able to see how business class differs on a short haul to a long haul flight, would I fly business on a short haul flight again? Probably not. Because apart from the fact you were served food, which you didn't get if you were in economy on a short haul flight, and drinks, etc. But because we'd been to the Aspire Lounge at Larnaca Airport and at the British Airways lounge at London Heathrow before, we kind of didn't really feel like we needed to eat on the plane as well. So actually, probably not worth it. In my opinion, save your money, save all those coins for flying business class long haul. You get way more for your money. Yes, it's more expensive, but it's because you're flying a further distance, so you're getting more meals, potentially 2 to 3 meals instead of just the one. You get to make the most of all of the free drinks. And you just get a better experience. So I wouldn't fly business class with British Airways again unless I could potentially do what we did in Cyprus, which was to effectively upgrade for free. We used Avios points, and I also had a British Airways companion voucher to use, so it made our flight super cheap, and in that case it was worth it. However, I probably wouldn't do it again. I would love to hear your thoughts on if you've flown British Airways business class, and also tell me which airline is your favourite to fly with both in economy, business, and if you've ever flown first. I've never flown first class. It is something that I would love to do once in a lifetime if I am lucky enough to do so. But yeah, thank you for watching this vlog. Please give it a thumbs up and drop me a comment below. Let me know your favourite airline to fly with, and hit subscribe if you are new here. I would love to grow this channel even more so, and over the coming months, years, etc. I will be doing lots more of these flight reviews so that you can see an honest insight into what it's like to fly with these airlines. So I will see you again next week. Next week I'm in the South Downs on a little staycation, so that's what you've got to look forward to, and I'll see you soon. Bye!